Hey. There you go, front head, let's go. Hey. Okay, so kind of a different strategy a lot of the time because it's very hard with the collars to get your hand like up into this space. So what's a lot more effective are arm-in strangles because they don't require me to be able to get like all the way up here, basic guillotines and things like that. So there's a lot of times we can get into this position, whether he's shot for a takedown, we've sprawled on him. The one we're gonna work is when they come up with an underhook, okay? So Jake gets an underhook here, he starts to come up, so I throw in this overhook to begin with. And now this is like when I know I want the guillotine, okay? I can't like let him come up and then go for it. I have to, at this point, be like, I'm gonna guillotine him. So I go over the top here, and now I'm gonna start to help like pull him up on top basically. As he's coming up here, I start to throw this hand in, and now a new grip that I've been playing with, especially in the gi, is instead of connecting my hands like this for the arm and guillotine, I actually go to a wrist-to-wrist position like this. So this one will be the overhook, this one throws in, and I go wrist-to-wrist like this with my choking arm on top. So when we do like an arm and guillotine, we're popping this part of our thumb into the neck, so my bicep's covering one side of his neck, this is popping into the other side of his neck. But you can see it's a very small amount of surface area. When I go wrist to wrist, now this whole part of my wrist is going to be covering the side of his neck. It also leaves my hands open, especially in the gi, as loop chokes for contingency. So if I can't get this choke, I couldn't get my hand in position, I can start using my open hand to feed the collar in for a loop choke. I'm going to work that later. So from here, he goes overhook, I start to pull him up, and I throw my hand in. I go wrist to wrist from here. As he's coming up, my foot tucks under, my leg goes all the way across his body, and now I'm crunching everything in as I'm pulling my hands up into his neck. If at this point he started to tripod up to alleviate the pressure on his neck, because here it's a lot harder to crunch in, my foot goes around, I lock a close guard, and now I can create a lot more leverage with my squeeze. So my hands like this, wrist to wrist, and I'm crunching everything in like this. My right hand is assisting in popping my wrist into his neck. Make sure your shoulder is rolled forward. I see a lot of people when they pull guard, they slide back like this, and now they don't have the leverage on the crown of their head to crunch in. You have to make sure that your shoulder the whole time is covering his neck like this. So as you go to pull guard, this is what people do that's incorrect. They slide down like this. So now as I crunch, there's nothing happening. I keep this forward and my legs do the work. So see, I can't see his neck at all. That's how I get the tap. If you miss, or you don't have the arm length to be able to go wrist to wrist, the next best grip is you're gonna get a chin strap grip. So I'm gonna grab Jake's chin with my hand like this, and then I cover my hand with my other hand. And just like what I was saying, I pop this part of my thumb into his neck. You can go a little bit more shallow as well if you feel like you need more leverage. But I'm popping this into his neck. So I'm going to go for the chin strap one. So here I'm pulling him up on top. My leg slides underneath. I throw this over and I'm crunching everything in as I'm rolling my hands up. Really try and play around with this wrist to wrist one. I've been using it for like the last 2 months and it's significantly tighter and a lot better in the gi, I find. So here, side control, Jake punches an underhook, I'm like, I'm gonna guillotine him, so I'm pulling him up here. I don't want to go front headlock and have his elbow closed like this. It's gonna be really hard to connect your hands. So I'm pulling him up like this, okay? Now I start throwing my arm deep, like this, and then I cover my other hand. Here, I'm pulling him up on top, my foot slides over, my leg throws in, and I start to crunch here. If he starts to tripod up, my other leg throws in, see how I can't see his neck at all? And then I squeeze for the finish. That's an arm in guillotine. Okay, let's go, 1, 2.
I kept laughing halfway through because I imagined myself just throwing up all over the mats.
Pull his elbows to the mat by walking backwards.
People are going to be very fucked when cradles become common. Won't be able to step up like that when they know cradles. Really?
Push his elbow, just go.
That's how you push it.
at that cube. Look at that distant cube, bro.
I already had a backwards, so I just
Jump in the trunk.
Shift me, Robo.
Orbit.
All he had to do was identify that, like, okay, I'm no longer pinning the hip, I no longer have control of the knee, I should take my arm back to the other side, but he just didn't.
yeah.
So he didn't do anything wrong, he was just late in his reaction. And he would have
Andrew, move the ball. Thank you, bro.
No Valentine's Day for Lobo?
No, not this year. Bit unlucky this year, but next year will be better. Hey?
They don't know what they're missing.
Exactly.
Hey. You guys want to have this? Hey. Stack.
Right, Jordan? Jaden probably will. That's what it is. Something hurt.
What happened to me just then? Entered the dragon.
Take this.
Oh, that's nasty.
Honestly, do you guys want a tutorial or what? You're gonna subscribe to get one.
He just seemed like the Americana king. This is Cramp Cam.
Very experienced in cramping, super experienced in cramping. If you don't hydrate enough and exercise, if you're just unfit, you cramp a lot like I do. I don't know what Jordan's cramping for then. This is beyond my experience. If you're healthy and you cramp, I've got nothing for you. I don't know.
I don't know, I wouldn't call myself healthy, but...
His name's Jordan. It'd be weird if you called yourself healthy. Hi, I'm healthy.
You're healthier than the people sitting at home on their couch.
Oh, let's hope so.
Is it cramping?
Look into your armpit. Get out of that.
Almost had him, bro.
I was terrified of the coil. I was like,
Oh, not rich, it. Not good. Definitely
Time. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's.
Did a kiss everyone the way through?
Come on, blow the kiss to the camera. Valentine's
Thank
Day.
you. Thanks, bro.
Okay, and out of it. And yeah, fuck. Right there. Just hold it. Fuck. Alright, more pressure. Okay, back down a bit. Pressure. Up a bit. Pressure. Yep. Yep. Up a bit. In a bit. Down a bit.
Just a tip this go. Just a tip.
Second knuckle. Second knuckle.
If this is how it goes at work, you're gonna get a call from HR.
I am HR.
Someone get him a towel.
Someone get him a cigarette.